There we go. And educator resources, easy to find. Now we're on to our lesson plans. At the very, very bottom, there was something I just brushed over. And because I have English, fine arts teachers, and theater teachers here, I'm going to show this to you, okay? Shakespeare education video resources. So I just started collecting a bunch of cool video resources online. This is not all encompassing, but they are great video resources that you can share with any and all of your friends. And many of you may already have these. Frequently, I like the kids actually getting up and performing themselves, hence my love of play and all that type of stuff. But there are really, really great video resources out here too. So I have kind of a description of what the source comes from. I've got the link that you can click on. I'll let you watch these on your own. There's basically what it's about. There are keywords here, so you can find out if it's about Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet. So when you're planning, you can do that type of stuff. I have instructional categories that are listed here. Can you still see that screen that I'm clear over there? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on just a minute. And then I have just a brief comment here that kind of helps you know what's happening in this. I do get down into performances. These are performances that I think are just really, really stellar, that are good examples of performance stuff. Instructional, synopsis, etc. None of this is USF. I'm just sending you to YouTube for things. I have a couple TED Talks in there that I think are really, really cool. I don't know how many of you know what's called TED Ed. Hang on, let me find my As You Like It. Have you heard of TED Ed?
I haven't.
I think you're going to love these. I'm looking for my As You Like It. Maybe you can help me find it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to show this one to you. So TED Ed, they're not TED Talks. They're animated videos that are generally about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes in length, that encapsulate a show. And this is from, look, I go off on it over here. TED Ed, brilliant. I read All the World's a Stage with them. I ask the students to create their own 7 ages of a high school student. I use this animation as an example of an interpretation of the 7 ages of man monologue. The 7 ages of man is all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players, okay? All right, so let me show this to you quickly. Perfect. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. There it goes. Cool. I'm just going to show this to you because as adults, I think you'll really appreciate the clarity and the depth of both the animation and what they do with it. Stop.
As You Like It by William Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe, and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
So, when I first saw that, I went, what? Why didn't they do an animation about a kid and a baby and an old man and all that type of stuff? Why didn't they do that? And by the time I got to like, a fourth of the way through, I went, oh my gosh, they have amplified this and taken this to a much, much bigger level. And again, I don't know if it affects young ones like it affected me, but I went, oh my gosh, talking about, and so, that conversation we had yesterday about figurative language and about metaphor and about suddenly all the world's a stage becomes so much bigger. And so using this for, what are the 7 stages of a kid in drama? What are the 7 stages of a high school student? What are the 7 stages, that work in all of those areas? Just really lovely. And TED Ed's other stuff is really, really good. So, I mean, for example, when I go to, let me find another TED Ed. I'm looking for my Macbeth. Do you see Macbeth, TED Ed? Macbeth, TED Ed. There we go. So I'm not going to watch all of this. You can do this and watch it another time. But the animation is really cool. It's really hip. And I'm thinking primarily of those of you that are teaching this. Oh, we're going to get an ad.
This seaside Virgo is about to play host to an unforgettable vacation memory.
Nothing in this world is free.
There's a play so powerful that an old superstition says its name should never even be uttered in a theatre. A play that begins with witchcraft and ends with a bloody severed head. A play filled with riddles, prophecies, nightmare visions, and mocks of brutal murder. A play by William Shakespeare, sometimes referred to as the Scottish play or the tragedy of Macbeth. First performed at the Globe Theatre in London in 1606.
So you want to keep listening, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're really, really, really good resources. So again, everything that you see with a TED Ed by it, that's what those TEDs, that's what the TED Eds are as you're walking through. Different from TED Talks. Okay. Again, I also have live performances in here. People who I particularly enjoy. I know we've got Doctor Who fans. Hang on. I'm looking for where to go. Hang on. I got Carlton Heston. I got Damian Lewis. I got insults. I got hip hop. This How Shakespeare Loved Iambic Pentameter is a good one, but the RSC on Iambic Pentameter also very, very good. Still looking for performance. Benedict Cumberbatch and Judi Dench, also very, very amazing. I can't believe I can't find it. Gangster was the first hip hop artist. You've just been through some sessions that kind of talk about that. That's good. Somebody's eyes are better than mine. I got Ian McClellan and Macbeth, which is a compare contrast, but you'll see why I found, where is he? Okay. All right, guys, sorry. This Allswell performance, oh my gosh. So good, so incredibly good. There's also a Hamlet here. There it is. There it is. I found it. Okay. So what I do is, because I want people to know that there are different types of performance, that just because there is no one way of doing Shakespeare, there's multiple ways. So here's David Tennant as Hamlet. Who has seen this version? Anybody seen this?
Mm-mm. No, I've never seen this.
I've seen him do Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah.
I've seen stage version of that.
Peasants slay this player here. Like a fiction. A dream of passion. Could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her workings all his visage won. Tears in his eyes. Distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit. And all for nothing. For Hecuba.
Again, I'm going to let you come back to it, but it's a pretty amazing performance. And again, I show that to them. We show the RSC version to them. We show other so that they can see there's multiple versions. Why not your version? Why not your version of Hamlet? So again, if you are at a loss of things to do, there's a bunch of stuff here. I do want to tell you lastly about Crash Course. You'll notice the length of these are longer. They're 12 minutes long, and I love John Green. John Green, if any of you know him, you're smiling. Do you know John Green, Megan?
Yes, he's written several young adult books, and his Crash Course videos are very detailed. He talks faster than you do, and you talk very fast. So
Yes.
kids really have to pause them, but they're wonderful.
Yes, yep, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to look for one of my favorites. They're all my favorite.
If I'm not mistaken, he also has a connection to Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes, in fact, the book Looking for Alaska, which is his first book, is based off of his time at a private school in Birmingham. So he lived in Birmingham, and I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I think his wife is from Birmingham as well.
Wow.
But they live in Chicago now. He actually came to Birmingham, and I got to meet him at a book signing for The Fault in Our Stars, because he went to like a Barnes and Noble or something in Birmingham when it first came out, and several of my students went to it.
I never knew him until I started teaching and found, well, I've been teaching for years. And then I just, when I got into this position, I was looking for things that people could use. So yeah, share this and all with others. I don't even know which one to show it to you. I'm not going to watch all the 12 minutes. I just want you to get his style. It's highly edited. It's very, very quick.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course English Literature, and this is Romeo and Juliet, written in 1595 or 1596, and often called the greatest love story of all time. Which, when you think about it, is a very strange thing to say about a play that features like one offstage sex scene and like 7 on-stage fatalities. I mean, let's quickly review the plot. Boy Romeo goes to a party trying to get over a girl with whom he is completely obsessed, but then he meets another girl, Juliet, and becomes obsessed with her. Their families hate each other, but despite that, or possibly because of it, they fall madly in love and get married the next day, whereupon immediately a family feud breaks out. No, thought bubble, not that kind of family feud. Yes, that kind. Several people get killed, including Juliet's cousin, who is offed by Romeo. And that means Romeo has to flee. Juliet takes a sleeping potion to avoid another marriage, and then Romeo comes back, finds her sleeping, thinks she's dead, kills himself, and then she wakes up and kills herself, and then the families end the feud. Yay! That we consider this romance says quite a lot about humans.
Mr. Green, but they love each other so much, you know? It's like his life literally isn't worth living without her.
Yes, me from the past. Her being a woman that he's known for like a few hundred hours. And yet, every year, thousands of people write to Juliet, care of her hometown of Verona, Italy, and the citizens of Verona write back. You, in fact, when you're in college, will go to Verona and visit all the touristy Romeo and Juliet sites, and that very night, you will be at a Veronese nightclub, and you will meet a girl named Antonia, and you will believe that you really love her, and that it is the kind of love that can last a lifetime. I'm gonna hook up with her? No, at the end of the night, you lean in to kiss her like, and no.
And that's just the beginning.
Shakespeare didn't invent.
Megan, thank you for the affirmation. Thank you for that. Yeah, setup. It's incredible. It's just really, really great. So that is our education video resources page. Just a list of a whole bunch of different video resources you can jump into.